So, a little more aggressive than usual.
Says who?
Rar.
It is. That is a signature sound of Lamb of God, though.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
You were not confusing them with like Ben Folds 5 or nothing.
Very well-known sound. Don't change a lot. You know, it's okay for a band to do that, in my opinion.
They're
all right.
God, this sounds a little heavier than that shit they did a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that Sturm and Drang, I think is what it was.
Well, but it feels like it's almost back to like the shit like that was on the Redneck, the album that one was
Yeah, fucking Sacrament.
Yeah.
Mid-2000s Lamb of God. It usually doesn't get much better than that, but this is pretty goddamn good.
This is fucking jammy. I mean, if you're into some really aggressive shit, can't recommend Lamb of God's new one enough. Omens.
If I had that shit playing in my brain when I was over at Stripes getting booze earlier, I probably have fucking murdered somebody. My day was going great until I went to go get beer.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I got a little rage. Got a little bit of rage to get out.
Some mouthy elderly, or that's more my game.
Well, I don't know. He looked old. So I'm waiting in a fucking line, man. There's probably like 9 people in this line at the convenience store.
Yeah. Oh, did you go to the ghetto stripes?
No, I went to the one I call the Gurdon.
Yeah.
And so
they are slower than shit over there. They usually
they had a person.
I think they just don't have.
They had a person
enough
working
bodies.
up there.
Yeah.
Which is like a huge problem around here. But I'm in no hurry. I'm like, that's why I arrive around 5. I'm here around 5:15. Fucking no big deal. So I'm waiting, and I run into this guy who I used to work with at the bar, which you guys probably know, named Tomb.
Yeah,
run into him.
Tomb.
He recognized me. Well, I was hoping he wouldn't recognize me, but he did.
Yes.
And so, of course, got to strike up this conversation, and the guy does not talk at a reasonable volume. He talks very low.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, making small talk. No big deal. Passes the time. And then this little, he's like probably like 5'3". This little old Mexican dude with 2 Bud Light super tall boys.
Yeah, they're great big ass, like 32-ounce cans, right? Yeah.
In his hands, and like, you know how lines work at the store. Sometimes you got to get creative in where you're going to stand and wait to let people know this is where the line starts, motherfucker.
Right.
And so I do that, and this Mexican dude goes up and is like talking to Tomb and just casually moves right in front of me in line.
Oh.
And I figured it was just like, oh, well, they're talking. That's fine. I mean, fuck, there's still 6 people in front of us. Not really going to make that big a deal.
Right.
But it still pissed me off, And this guy gets done talking to Tomb and then turns around and looks at me and starts talking to me like we've been friends forever.
Oh, no.
And he's like, yeah, no lawns to mow out there, and I'm not trying to sound racist. This is exactly what he said.
What did he say?
There are no lawns to mow out there because of all the rain.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, well, hey, look at the bright side. It's going to rain a couple more days, and then after that, you'll be in business. And I was hoping that'd be the end of it. And then he asked me, do you have any lawn work you need done? Which I said, no. Mowing is one of the few things I actually get to look forward to that I get to do in my home.
Right.
So I'm good, buddy. Fine. He's like, oh, yeah, it's tough out there. It's real tough out there. Say, you wouldn't mind picking these beers up for me, would you? And I'll get you back.
What?
Wow.
And then
I got a powerful thirst, but a real empty wallet.
And then the first time I actually looked at him, because I was wearing like my sunglasses this whole time. And so I take off my sunglasses, I look at him like, because now I'm kind of half-ass intrigued here.
Right.
Like, how are you going to get me back? Because I have no fucking idea who you are.
Sure.
And he's like, oh, I'm around here all the time.
All the time.
Oh, of course.
around, Ain't
I'm
just around.
It's like, yeah. And he's like, well, you can give me your number, and if you need, I'll get a hold of you when I have the money. And if you need any, yard work done, maybe I could pay it out like that.
This guy's trying to hustle beers?
Yeah, he's literally trying to.
All the while, he's got like a fucking $5 bill in his hand, right?
And about $6-7 worth of beers.
I think they're like 2 for $5 out over there.
Oh, are they? Okay.
They on special. So now finally, I'm like, I've had it. I'm not going to give you my phone number. I'm not going to buy your beer when I see you have money in your hand. And I'm not going to let you mow my lawn. And I'm going to go buy my beer, and I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And this conversation is over. Thankfully, someone else came in and started talking to him.
But he got away with cutting in line, though.
Oh, no, he was behind me after this.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
When he started talking.
Not only am I not buying your beer, get your ass to the back of the line,
Yeah,
sir.
I'd be like, guess what? You lost your line privilege. But it was, now that I think about it, it's fucking almost amazing. The balls.
Yeah.
The fucking ball. The audacious balls.
The audacity.
Some people don't even have well, I want to, I don't know, what's a good example? You see somebody out in public, it's like, I've been trying to get this chick's number for a while. I'm going to throw a little game at her, but I don't really know her, so I have to kind of keep things reined in. And then here's this guy, I know I got money, but I would like you to spot me these beers.
Yeah.
There's a level of brevity that just kind of blows me away.
Yeah, I can't. No shame. No shame at all.
It's just like, I'm sorry, have I sold you weed? Is that how you know me?
I know you.
I would never think to do that.
No. Because, if you enter an establishment to purchase something, you probably already have the money.
I have the money to purchase the thing.
You're not going to go and be like, all right, who's going to get me my liquor
let me
today,
see
huh?
who I can get money from today.
It was amazing.
That is a little shocking.
Yeah.
Wild as fuck.
Yeah.
I can't.
And now it's just and not only that, fucking Toom and this other guy and me, there's probably 2.5 fucking feet separating us. So I feel like I'm fucking in an elevator of people I want to be around, but I can't be a dick until this fucking asshole asked me to buy him fucking beer. I almost respect him just out of the bluntness of doing it.
Just out of the balls this guy has.
But, oh, God, I'm sure I'm not the only one that he's probably tried to run beer game on. Especially when I got a 12-pack of something he probably wanted way more than what he had.
That might be what he does on Fridays. I don't know.
I'm going to start doing that shit.
Hey,
what you got on that weed, old man?
Want to score me a loose and a couple of 32s?
Yeah, it was interesting.
That was not his first rodeo.
Nah,
There's
fuck
no way.
that.
No way.
Maybe it was. It's maybe it'll work.
Shit, straight. I've been having a good day. I'm going to try this shit finally.
Maybe he'll be uncomfortable enough to actually buy it just so I leave him alone.
Right?
And I've learned anything. If you give these fuckheads anything, they're going to want more.
The old inch and mile shit, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So, no free beer from me. I got to buy my own shit. So, the day I don't have to buy my own beer, I'll buy someone else's.
Oh, the old pay it forward, but in beers.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Well,
I want to receive in kind, John.
Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. Of course, you should know this. We just did a show a week ago. But the reason we're doing this is because October's fucking a little crazy.
Do you remember when we used to do this shit every Friday?
Well, it's because we had enough rage to pull it off.
Yeah, man, we did. We really did. And it was just us being angry.
Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, you guys were really angry.
Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable to go back and listen to those nowadays. Anything's pre-episode 100.
Yeah, it's okay. We all go through phases in our lives.
Yeah, no, we were using that shit in place of a therapist.
Yes, that's okay though.
Yeah.
At least you weren't going out and bashing someone's face in.
Well, actually, that did come later.
Wow.
But, not to say it was a contributor, but it did happen.
We got a mutual friend of ours. He comes over twice a year, maybe. And it's not like he lives a long way away. He's in an adjoining state. But this guy inspires me to do bad things. So comes over yesterday, which is a Thursday night. And, my ass does have to work on Friday. And I knew it before he even got here. I was like, nope, I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to stay up way too late. I'm going to drink way too much. I'm going to smoke way too much. Or, well, the equivalency there. You know, it's not smoke too much when you take a 50 milligram gummy, you know. But I mean, I knew I was going to do all the wrong shit, and I paid for it throughout the entire day.
Oh yes.
Because that particular ferryman wants his fucking money right now.
Being old and having a hangover is the worst thing ever.
Well, the thing that made it even worse is because, you know, I'm not drinking beer until, actually I got 3 more weeks.
Okay.
But, boy, I'm about the end of that shit. I almost stopped and bought some fucking Tall Boys today.
Yeah.
But I thought I got to do something to exercise the demon because I was drinking a fucking pitcher of margaritas yesterday.
Oh, my God.
A pitcher. You know, got this nice little sangria pitcher a couple of years ago, like right before the pandemic. And I drank a lot. I drank a lot. It was almost 4 cups. So that's almost 32 ounces. Yeah. Probably it's probably shy of that, but it's probably 25 to 28 ounces of fucking margaritas.
Hell yeah.
And that's not like on the rocks measured. No. That's straight
actual.
up. Yeah. Because I made them from scratch. I had an old bag of limes that I need to get rid of. Because if I'm going to make Thai food or if I'm going to make Mexican food, I buy a whole bag of limes.
Right.
Well, and then so you come around to the next weekend, well, it starts getting a little uncomfortable. It's like, well, what am I going to do with all these old limes that are looking at me all sad?
Yeah.
Well, make margaritas.
Yeah.
All right.
Really sweet drinks, fucking, the hangover hits 10 times harder.
Yep.
Staying around drinking whiskey, I can probably get away with it. And you might not know I drank the night before, but fucking everybody knew what I did last night that I ran into today.
Oh, man. It happens. It really does.
But perfect margarita. We were talking about just before Brandon started rolling on this, because you were a bartender for easily like 10 years that I've known you, right? I don't think I've known you quite that long. Let me back that up. I've known you more like 7 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've known me. I moved to Portales, I think, in 15.
15, yeah. Yeah.
Feel like
15
10
or
years.
16.
Well, somewhere through there. So we
I
know
need to
6 or
look.
7 years. But I mean, margaritas are fairly simple to make
yeah. Uh-huh.
because they're 1 to 1 to 1 and with a asterisk there. If you want to make a classic restaurant margarita, it's one part margarita, 1 part lime, 1 part triple sec is what they'll serve you. Cointro's superior.
Yeah,
but,
we'll do you always do triple sec at restaurants unless you pay for the Cointreau.
right. Well, yeah, the old top shelfer, right?
Correct.
But no, I was drinking like Sauza and Cointreau.
Okay, that's not bad though. Sauza is not great, but it's not the worst.
It's the good cheap shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's not the mediocre good shit. No.
No, but it's still good.
But I do all of that, and then people tend to tweak theirs a little bit. I'll throw in up to about a half a cup. Well, for a pitcher, I'll throw up to about a half a cup of like simple syrup.
Yeah.
Sweeten it a little.
Mine will end up being sweeter.
Because if you go just with that straight up 1 to 1 to 1 straight over the rocks, you're going to get a margarita
That's
is going
pretty
to
sour.
grow some hair on your dick,
yeah,
right?
It's pretty sour. I'm not into that so much.
But nonetheless, how's your week so far, Krista?
Mine is good. I've done some homework and just kind of chilled. It's been a rainy week.
Kinda. Monday was like 85.
Yeah, that's right. I guess Monday and
Like
Tuesday were
21
warm and
degrees
pretty.
colder today.
And I enjoyed that too. This time of year is always really nice because it's cool, warm, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I have more ideas of what to cook around here when we start getting cooler weather.
Yeah.
Summer, it's like, man, I feel really limited right now.
yeah, that's fair. Because you don't want to turn that damn oven on.
Well, yeah, I was going to make some fajitas and shit tomorrow. And
You ain't
I
doing
thought,
that.
fuck,
It's
no,
supposed
60,
to be wet.
like 60, I think, 61 for our high tomorrow or some shit. Thought, well, I guess green chili stew it is, the dish of New Mexico.
The dish of kings.
Not firing up a grill for a cold, rainy day.
No,
That's
that
just
doesn't make
now 60, like in December. By hell yeah, let's fire up the grill. Shit, it's nice out. But
I'm on it.
October, not so much. Still acclimating, doing the stepping down from the summer heat.
Correct.
At least you don't got to worry about just cooking shit in an air fryer like, summertime, which makes summertime cooking a lot easier when you don't want to light that motherfucker.
It does not heat up the house, yeah. Although, you can't just say it doesn't generate any heat. I don't know about yours, but mine is blowing fucking hot air straight out the back. And I know this
wow.
I know this is actually, adding to some of the heat in the house, but it's not an oven.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like the one I have is pretty decent about holding on to that shit. But it's also like I've had it 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's got a little more age on it, but it's air fryer. As it turns out, that's like the best shit ever for refrying stuff without, especially fried stuff, and without it losing the crunch to it, the crisp to it. If you went out of your way to bread something, whether it be like chicken fried steak or fucking fried chicken for that matter,
Yeah.
throw that shit in an air fryer, and that shit is not going to get soggy. It's not going to get weird, rubbery like out of a microwave. And as a matter of fact, fucking pizza is pretty damn amazing coming out of an air fryer.
Agreed.
Weird. I don't have one. I guess I need to get one.
Man, it's a commitment, though. It's like, well, this thing does one thing, and it takes up a fucking big amount of space.
Yes.
We were talking about, I just want to get a meat slicer. Where the fuck am I going to put one?
Yeah,
So,
where? That takes up a lot of room.
a lot of room. So,
It sucks how that works.
well, I don't know. I did find one little space. Now, if my dumb ass can not get too carried away, of course, who were we talking about here? I'm a bit of a psychopath on stuff, so maybe.
When it comes to food-related items, absolutely.
I would not put it past me to buy some shit like that about around tax time. I've seen me do shit like that before all my life.
Big plans. Got big plans.
All right. Well, Mead, Metal MMA. Let's hit the Mead side first. We've got some liquid yeast we're just waiting on. I have a funny feeling it's in, let's call him a friend. It's probably sitting in a friend's house right now in their fridge, because liquid yeast has it shouldn't be different, but it is. The reaction is very different on the fermentation.
How fascinating.
It seems like it's a lot more stable. The end result, because it is specifically for a sweet mead, the end result is far more consistent, and I like it better.
Okay.
It seems like the batch has got a lot more clarity immediately.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it's like it all gets in there and just gets to work.
yeah, it is certainly a different animal than using dried yeast.
Well, there is something to be said for having the yeast basically in a medium already ready to go versus being dry and having to wake up and utilize a lot of energy to activate. And you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, that shit's
so
like
I feel like
that
there's
shit's flocculating within like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's ready. It's
Yeah.
just in like a stasis state versus, and it's very strange to speak on because dried yeast is also in a stasis state, but it's like a different kind of stasis state.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's something to be said for it. That I guess if it's in a liquid yeast form, then yeah, there's no waking up process. All
Right,
of
it's
those
already
individual
awake. 'Cause
cellular
liquid
activity is already there.
That's what it exists in. It needs water to do its life stuff. So it makes sense.
Fun times.
Woo.
But anyway, we're looking at banging out probably back-to-back batches. I thought about going ahead and getting a little fancy and getting some orange blossom honey.
Ooh.
And then this shit came along called the fucking inflation,
Uh-huh,
the
the
inflation
inflation.
hammer.
Oh,
I know
God.
it's been a nightmare, huh?
It's and shit will go down. It's like, oh, thank fuck for that. You remember when we were in Albuquerque back in July? We'd gassed up out by the casino, and it was about $3.70 at the end of July. That's when assholes around here were all paying like $4.30 a gallon.
Sure.
It's like, man, we're saving 60 cents. And it just, like, in the last couple of weeks, like, man, it's finally back down to where it was at in Albuquerque back in the end of July.
Right.
But it hasn't dropped any more.
Nope.
It's staying right there, like
Yep.
$3.70 a gallon,
Yep.
because it's probably getting ready to go back up, because all those dick bags that are all part of OPEC are all
That's what
fucking...
I heard. I heard our shit's going back up. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, good.
all want to cut production so they can make more money.
Yep.
You know what? And that makes me even more on board with fucking electronic vehicles.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah,
100%.
I want to see all you assholes go back to going, oh fuck, what are we going to do now? And a bunch of hotels sitting on a bunch of fucking man-made islands, and then they have no gasoline revenue anymore. That's the day that I hope for.
Yeah. It's not good to build your economy on a non-renewable resource, and I'll just
Kind of
leave
like
it at that.
Well, that's what we do in this state, but we're like a smaller version of Saudi Arabia
Sure.
with actual morality sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes being the keyword.
Yeah.
Sometimes in this very house.
Well, let's not get too carried away.
No, we're just here to fuck shit up.
Yep.
Yeah, because the Saudis, they just just last year before, they finally started letting their women drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good time.
Progress.
You know.
Shit.
Well,
Keep going
it's
like
fine.
this, they
They're
might-
in Iran, burning their hijabs and cutting their hair because, the morality police are killing 23-year-old women. So.
Yeah, one of these
Good
days, Saudi Arabia, their women folk might even be able to get the right of franchise and be able to vote. You never know.
Jesus Christ.
That'd be weird. Or actually, do they even get to vote in Saudi Arabia? Probably not, huh?
I imagine not. I really don't know. I have not looked into that.
Good people over there, right? Oh, well.
He's one of the good ones.
Shit. So, yeah, I think we've covered Mead sufficiently. I know we got LJ this week, yeah?
We do. And the man be peddling something.
Well, as we've pointed out before, well, hell, the first time when we had him on here, before he was like doing a regular segment, we had that guy on just kind of a guest on this show. Ruben's like, yeah, you guys got to talk to this guy. And it turned out being actually a really, really good idea because LJ you talk about a guy doing some hustle. I'm not talking like a guy at Stripes trying to get you to buy him a couple of tall boys, because he didn't feel
Not
like
that kind of
because he
hustle.
didn't feel like breaking his fiver. I'm talking about a
Jesus.
guy that's doing a lot of different shit. And on top of being a guitar player, in KBX, on top of that and his day job, dude's also an author. So he's going to be throwing out some details about how you can pick up some of his works, his latest work, his work.
And I'm sure probably dropped a little bit of metal knowledge in there as well. Doing
bit.
double duty.
A little bit. So let's go ahead and get the lowdown on what's going down with LJ.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the metal portion of the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. Yep, it's been 2 weeks since my vacation, but I am back on the scene and ready to start dishing out some metal. So I hope you brought your forks and knives, because we're going to deep dive into this shit like we never have in a long time. I don't know if any of that sentence made sense, but fuck it, let's do this. The first band on my list is Elefson Soto, and the album is called Vacation in the Underworld. Okay, before we jump into the songs, let me address the rather unprofessional quality of the music video of the title track. They recorded the singer mouthing the song at about half speed and fast-forwarded it like by double, and it's jarring. I'm trying not to be a dick about it because I like the song a lot, but come on, man. I can literally make a better music video if I wasn't too lazy to do it in the first place. I'm a whore for editing and multiple camera cuts, and I hate editing videos, and that's why KBX doesn't have many. But anyways, the record is interesting, and Elefson is still one of the hardest thrash basses ever. So check it out. Next on the list is Armed for Apocalypse. The album is called Ritual Violence. This band, I'm not sure what the genre is, but they're super heavy and the vocalist roars constantly. Ever heard of the band Anal Cunt? They were a noise metal band formed in like the late 80s that actually this band reminds me of if they played well and took themselves the least bit serious. So there you go. Armed for Apocalypse is noise metal that doesn't suck as bad as actual noise metal. It's perfect if you tattoo for a living or an auto mechanic, I guess. A job where you can have music playing and somebody asks, what the fuck are you listening to? And you just shrug and continue to work in silence. Yeah, that's them. Next up is Lamb of God. The album is called Omens. Finally, a band I'm sort of excited about. I haven't heard many songs by these guys, but everything I have heard, I totally love it. Even the title track has me grooving. I love the vocalist style and the guitar riffs. Hands down, this album is totally worth buying. Don't even look up reviews. Take it from a guy who knows a band that has their shit together. If you love metal, go out and buy Omens by Lamb of God. Right now. Stop the podcast and go buy it. Now! Next on the list is Queensryche. The album is called Digital Noise Alliance. Also worth it. Go buy their shit. And also, I just realized the name of the album spells DNA. Clever cunts. You clever, clever bitches. Next on this list is Wednesday the 13th. The album is called Horrifier. Okay, so these are a new band to me, and one of the perks of this Mead, Metal, and MMA gig is the fact that I get to discover new bands through reviewing their shit. And every once in a while, you get days like this, where every band on the list is pretty damn good, and I just need to include them. I know when I first did this, I read off bands and didn't really know what I was doing, but now you hit a point of it's natural. And this band is also pretty fucking good. So I suggest you go out and discover them on your own because, wow. I expected them to suck, but, they don't. So there you go. And that would be it for the metal portion of the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast, but there's one thing that I have to say. Or actually, one thing that I have to plug. That's right. Guess what, kids? I wrote a new horror novel just in time for Halloween. It's called Torment, and you can find it on the website Lulu, where I self-published it not too long ago. It's my first full-length horror novel, and I'm super proud of it. Go to www.lulu.com/spotlight/LJ Ruiz, LJRUIZ, and pick up a paperback copy. All proceeds go to the Broke Mexican Fund, where they help me keep the lights on and water running. That way I can drink municipal tap, shower, and take the occasional healthy shit twice a day. There are other books in there also that you'd probably be interested in checking out if you're into action stories, fantasy, or anything else. That's all I've got for today. Take care and rock the fuck on. See ya! Take it away, Kevin and Brendan, and whoever else is in the meat hall. Yeah.
Remember when a cougar was only a wild, snarling beast? The symbol of a small, sporty car? We've changed all that. For 1974, Cougar is totally new. We've civilized the big cat. Moved it up one whole class in size and luxury. With a dramatically styled new grille. Wide, glove-soft buckets, deeply padded. Hooded instruments embedded in rich vinyl. A whole new dimension in size and space. The distinctive look of a new opera window framed by an elegant Landau roof. And steel-belted radio, standard. We didn't change the spirit of Cougar. We civilized it. Mercury Cougar XR7, like nobody else's car. At the sign of the cat.
There we go. Mercury Cougar.
Cougar. And spooky books.
Kind of spawned a whole artist by the name of John Cougar.
I think it's his birthday today.
Was it?
God, talk about the simulation shutting down.
Yeah.
There's another one right there.
Weird things that happen per chance. And it's nice to know that LJ now calls Krista the whoever else. So
And
you're the also ran.
Hey, it's not always me. I don't blame him. He's just trying not to hurt anyone's feelings.
Brandon,
the last
Kevin,
time,
the other one.
I've never met this dude in my life, so I really don't blame him.
That's okay. We've only actually ran into him a few times. So.
Fair enough.
But I feel like
He
I've known him forever.
keeps threatening to come down and jam and do a podcast with us one of these days, so we'll see.
Shoot, that would be cool.
Maybe on the 28th.
On Halloween weekend.
Well, because Krista's got a performance that one. I'm sure it's probably a Halloween-based aerial performance too, huh?
Is it going to be spooky?
I don't know. I don't even remember. There's so many shows. I'm like, I'll have to check my calendar. Sorry.
Whoa.
Wow.
We in the presence of celebrity right now.
Remember, she said after September, we don't really have any dates. So.
Well, then one of the owners was like, "Wee," and scheduled a bunch of stuff. And you know what? I'm here for it. I love it. I like that the community likes us.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, you wouldn't be this busy if they didn't like you.
Correct.
Speaking of upcoming Halloween stuff, and I realize on the 28th is going to be more Halloween themed than anything, but we haven't had you on as a third when we discuss Halloween movies.
Oh.
Yes.
I think last year we did a rundown of 1, 2, and 3 for us. Maybe it was the year before that. I don't know. But what's your favorite Halloween movie of all time?
Oh. Honestly, Nightmare Before Christmas is the first one that comes to mind.
Wow.
But some people would say that's a Christmas movie and not a Halloween movie. It kind of goes both ways,
But
in my opinion.
that one kind of gets most of its run around Halloween, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's when I watch it.
Yeah.
I rarely watch that movie around Christmas time if I watch it at all.
Yeah. I'm a big nerd. What else do I really like?
Dale and Tucker versus Evil. Well, that's probably not a horror movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Hey, it's pretty gory.
It's on Amazon for this. They just added it. Yeah.
No shit. That is a good. It is a fun movie.
Right.
It is like almost the polar negative of a horror movie.
If you were a fan of horror movies in the 70s and late 70s, early 80s, that might be your jam.
It's a brilliant concept in the fact that the two guys that everybody thinks is the murderers are not. They're all killed by their own folly.
Spoiler.
Yeah, well,
I love
this is
shit
like the
like
first.
that. That's
It's like the
great.
first 20 minutes of the movie.
Right.
It is real. The next hour and a half is hilarity.
But yeah, it's got Alan Tudyk in it. He was on Firefly, the
Yeah,
pilot.
the
Yeah,
pilot.
yeah.
Pirate. What Pirate Pete on Dodgeball?
I'm sure the name sounds familiar.
Yeah,
and I'm
he
He
sure
was the
I've
pirate in
seen
Yeah.
Dodgeball.
That guy's actually he's been pretty busy as an actor, TV mostly.
And a damn good one at that.
Yeah.
Easy guy to empathize with. And
Yeah.
funny as shit.
Oh, Hocus Pocus is another that I really enjoy.
Oh.
I would go Friday the 13th,
Okay.
Part 2. The second one.
Old burlap head Jason.
Yeah.
I
Because
have
that
not
was-
seen a lot of the Jason movies.
Yeah.
As a child, my brother-in-law had one of those great big-ass dishes that had the expanded wire in them and stuff, and they're like, 12 feet across or some shit. And back in the early days of satellite, I mean, you would have to, like, have a box that would move it so you could, like, get into different parts of the sky, and you would be able
Oh,
to
yeah,
touch
yeah.
different,
really
different,
cool.
you'd be able to, I mean, that was the old days of satellite.
Right.
Nowadays, it's just static, and it'll track, the LMB will track the satellite dish itself and pull down all your programming at ultra-high speeds. This was back in the day, and I think my brother-in-law probably traded out some more because he was a mechanic. And I think he traded out some work and got this fucking satellite dish. And as a young child whose folks are like, he was like, oh, can we get cable? I'm like, we don't need no cable. We got like 4 stations. You don't need it,
That sounds like my teenage life right there.
Yeah, it was my teenage life as well. But I'd go over to my sister's, though, or after my dad died, and I was over there, a lot of time. Suddenly, young Kev got to look at a lot of titties. And
That's the thing that changed. That was the first
Pubes.
time I saw active porn. Was with one of these dishes.
well, and that's where, like, Friday the 13th,
I don't know why I said active porn.
I want to call it Part 2, right? Or was it just?
I don't know.
Or was it just Friday the 13th 2? I don't know.
Semantics.
Now I'm starting to wonder if it was the third one. But I
Third
know,
one was in 3D.
okay, it was not. So, and I know it wasn't the original because they'd kind of recapped that one at the beginning of 2.
Did Jason have a hockey mask on?
No, it was burlap.
Okay, then part 2 is the only one it could be.
Yeah. There's a scene, so it's the same thing. A bunch of teenagers go to Camp Crystal Lake or whatever, right down the road from it. And they all get out there so they can all fuck and drink and have a good time and get
Sure.
high.
Yep,
all the things that
Maybe I have seen this one.
all the things that horror villains, or it's like, man, I ain't gonna let no fucking and doing the marijuanas out here,
evil.
But there was one that's very poignant, and I remember even to this day because there was a couple getting it on, and Jason comes in there and puts a spear through both of them and through the bed all the way to the floor.
And you know who won it? Well, actually, the one I'm thinking of was from the first one, where it had Kevin Bacon in it,
Yeah.
where he got a fucking. Was that? That's my God. See now my own horror cred.
I really don't know. Holy shit.
I mean, we're talking some shit from a long time ago.
I guess I like Freddy Krueger the best of like the old. I like Nightmare on Elm Street.
That was kind of one that I didn't really get into until it had already been around for a while.
Sure, that's fair. That's me too.
I saw that shit when I was 5
Oh God, you poor thing.
because my parents were bad.
Yeah. But
But
5-year-old watch.
Yeah, that's horrifying. I'm
now
sorry.
I'm so desensitized. Fucking nothing really bothers me. Like, what was the last horror movie that you watched that disturbed you?
The original It, I was like 17, and it really
The Tim
did.
Curry vehicle?
Yes, and that one got under my skin. Of course, I was watching it. It was like 2:00 in the morning at night in the living room by myself. You know what I mean? Like, so I was giving myself the heebie-jeebies. But then The Ring, when I was like 14, I saw that in theaters and that. But other than that, any new movie, I'll get scared at jump scares like anybody, but I've not been scared to the core by anything in recent history.
Yeah.
So
I think, I think I've probably actually talked about it on this very fucking podcast, but my sister had some shit she had to go do. And back in Indiana, you could have adult movie theaters, but they couldn't show adult movies until like after like 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
So during the day, they would rerun, basically be second run movies, really. And she had some shit to do. And this is back in the old days when you could basically, It was like living like a Dickensian fucking street urchin, really. You know, where like parents or grown-ups and people supervising you, like just like, hey, I'm gonna drop you off here in town in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
I got some shit I got to do.
I'll come get you shortly.
Yeah.
Or
So
whatever.
yeah, so we go into this and it's like, man, why are the floors stickier than usual in here?
Oh!
But
This is Kool-Aid. Pretend it's Kool-Aid.
but yeah, she dumped us off, and we watched American Werewolf in London.
Oh, okay.
And as a young person, that kind of scared the living
kinda
shit out of me.
scary.
Nowadays, I look back on it and I laugh more than anything.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, it's a very entertaining fucking horror movie.
But man, as a child, oof, that one, Children of the Corn, scared shit out of me.
Yeah, that one's creepy.
Because of the demonic shit at the very end. You know?
It's just weird. Yeah, that
We
one is
have your
creepy.
woman.
And I only saw that a few years ago, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is
A little
creepy.
unsettling.
Yeah, very unsettling. Unsettling's
Watched
a good word.
Salem's Lot as a child.
that
That was
one.
the vampire one, Stephen King,
Okay.
original kind of shit before Stephen King became the asshole he is now. You know, when he used to be more interested in just writing about the scary shit instead of being, man, I want my name attached. He's like George R.R. Martin in that way these days.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Well, he's far more active, though. That motherfucker has probably written 20 books in the time George has written none.
But George
Yeah.
is busy doing Elden Ring and stuff.
Yeah, does it count as a book if it's a video game?
Oh my god.
That guy's silence is a little deafening in it because something I didn't know about. He had a couple of co-writers
Yes.
who were saying some kind of unsavory shit, kind of racist a little bit, you know. They were really, really angry, the Valerian family, or black people with platinum hair. They're very angry because those are supposed to be perfectly white people. And George R.R. Martin hadn't said shit, and that's not a good look.
Fucking everybody
mean,
just got to be pissed off.
Well, it's bad enough when you get normal dummies, you know, like kind of what they're getting on the Lord of the Rings shit. Like,
Sure.
But when you got people, it's like these were people that he would use, for all of his fact checking and shit
Yeah.
from all of his
that's
other stuff.
Not
and
good. You're right.
yeah.
It's not a good look at all for him to not come out and say something. That's really. It's unsavory, unfortunately, this stuff. It's just like me having to do this stuff with Harry Potter. Like,
Right.
people are unsavory as fuck.
Yeah, you're too
So,
far. You're
sorry,
too far.
guys.
You're
Yeah.
like in another land.
Yeah. No, it so it becomes a thing. It's like, look, I'm still going to watch House of the Dragon. I don't care if
Sure.
these assholes that George R.R. Martin
Yeah.
had, not ghostwriting, but always doing, fact checking for his own shit.
Sure.
Which I always laugh at. Oh, don't remember your own story.
Well, isn't that? I find that bizarre. I'm like, really, you've written such a complex story. You don't think you can keep it straight? Like, come on, man, really?
Kind of, right?
That seems ridiculous.
As
to
soon
me.
as I write it, I forget
Yeah,
it.
I'm sorry, but that's really bizarre to me. When I heard he had to have people to make sure to check his shit, I was like, is it really that complex that you can't keep it straight, my dude? Like, come on.
So you got a bad memory. He's just an old man getting ready to get the dementia going on. He light up a spliff every day. I mean, I don't know what he's doing.
There's that, but
Well, I'll be honest. Sometimes the Targaryen fucking family, I'm like, okay, his name either ends with a gon or a ya
oh yeah, uh-huh.
or a ss.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these names that are like very similar.
Uh-huh. It's hard.
And it's just like, all right, but I know Viserys is my favorite.
Isn't it also intriguing? God, that guy.
He's turned into my favorite character.
So funny that he's your favorite.
He's so ineffectual and terrible as a king.
He's the worst.
And it's also the fact it's like this motherfucker is falling apart literally.
Should we have
Yeah.
done spoiler alerts?
And-
Whoops.
and-
Nah.
fuck that. No, this is from last week.
Sorry.
Shit. If you're a fan and hadn't seen it yet, that's on.
Like,
I
I'm
feel
waiting
bad for
until
you,
the whole
son.
series is over so I can power watch the whole thing. Thank you.
Well, then I suggest you turn the internet off and read a book.
That's valid. That's
Yeah.
valid.
But yeah, no. Now that he's just kind of like an old dude, just happy to see his bloodline continued in one way, shape, or form. I kind of like that about him, and the fact he knows everything. And he just wants people to shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Isn't it a little weird, though, with George R.R. Martin that he doesn't really catch all the rage? You would think he should, but no. People that are angry about the original Game of Thrones run of 8 seasons, they're still angry at the showrunners, not George R.R. Martin.
No.
Because that fat fuck, of course, shrugged and went, I don't know, I didn't have anything to do with this. Your name's still there, fatty. Come on, it's still there. Come on.
You made the money off of it. He made the money off of it.
And then he immediately, all of his fans are like, maybe he'll go back and finally write that final book.
No.
I'm going to do a video game.
Yeah, he's
We gonna
being
have
a
that?
punk, whatever.
None.
He can do what he wants. If that's what he wants. That's
People
what
let him just get away with it, though, and it's like, and he doesn't answer for shit.
he wants.
but
No, it kind of.
And let's not get it twisted. The dude's no Jack LaLanne either.
no.
That like time keeps on ticking away.
No, I do think about that often.
When COVID became a thing, I was like, oh man, he's fucked. That's it.
Don't you think he probably has the final, and it's in a safe somewhere? Like, get this shit out when I die.
Maybe.
I don't want to hear all these fools fucking unload on me
That's
the way
fair.
they did on
you
the
know
showrunners.
What? You may be onto something. It
I
might
am
be
on
locked in a
something, yeah.
motherfucking vault.
Well, it's not like he
But
needs
would
the
he?
money.
Because then he doesn't get the money. Well, does he need money?
No.
Like he's got enough, right?
He's living up there in Taos in a really nice house.
Hey,
And he's
You
getting
were-
all the money from all the book sales and everything. This guy
He's
don't
got to
think,
be doing okay, right?
I
I
don't
don't
think he
know. I
has
mean,
to
some
worry
people
about
are
money.
super greedy and they still want more. So I don't know, but
Well, speaking of greed, how about we move on to UFC then?
ooh, something we kind of just gloss over these days.
Well, I was going to bring it up last week, but I thought, well, none of this is confirmed. I need to wait. So what had happened was, so we watched the Dana White's Contender Series. They had their finale. And I learned earlier that day from like my little Google News just popped up. It's like, here's some shit you might care about. It's like, thanks for always having my back, Google. And but it was on the UFC having no fans nor media at the event for Saturday at the Apex Center there in Las Vegas. I thought, what? Why would they have no fans, no media? That doesn't make sense. That's some shit from like 2020, So the Contender Series, they have their finale, and like first question, the guy's like, man, I gotta have for certainly the question that's on everybody's minds is, why aren't you having fans and media here? And this is from the media, so clearly they're a little upset.
Sure.
Dana says, he said, oh, well, you guys are going to be in this week for the media shit tomorrow. You're here for the weigh-ins on Friday, and then I'm cutting you loose. You can just have a
You
Saturday
can have
off.
the day, yeah, I'm giving you all the day off.
Like, but why are you doing this? And he's like, oh, no reason. Like, well, Mackenzie Dern, one of the fighters on the card, said that it was because Mark Zuckerberg's going to be here. Mark Zuckerberg's going to be renting it. And he goes, nah, Mark Zuckerberg ain't renting this. Well, as it turns out, I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it. But, yeah, sure enough, there's nobody in the stands. And Apex Center's small. It's a small venue. Maybe it holds 100, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
I guess who's there?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, and his
Zark
fucking wife and all of his
Muckerberg.
fucking sycophant fucking asshole followers and shit. All of them. And, of course, they don't do a post-fight, so Dana doesn't have to answer for any of that shit. Basically, he got to it was the whole thing they did in the Clinton administration of trying to figure out what is. Jeez. And, like, so that's the defense. Like, well, wait a fucking minute. You just said that Mark Zuckerberg wasn't going to fucking rent the place out. I'm like, well, he didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's so shitty.
So, yeah.
Hey, you can fucking be a billionaire. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
valid.
You can do whatever you want.
That's
Like, we want to rent out a sports facility and keep all the asshole fans out, so only me and my my closest little trio or circle of people can fucking go and attend it. Can't afford football. How about UFC?
It's not a good look. I mean, I don't give a fuck, really.
no.
I'm
but
going to watch
it's
it from.
not a good look.
I'm going to watch it from the comfort of my own home anyway. But it is weird because then you get the no crowd reaction whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
Feels
bizarre.
very peak COVID
Yeah,
shit.
that's weird.
Also, that asshole, his fucking pasty white, stupid looking goddamn
I know.
bucket nose face on fucking TV, every camera angle, standing there. And, and his wife apparently not prepared for it because every time that some would get nasty and there was some blood, and there was a lot of blood last
There was
weekend.
some nasty business.
And yeah, some of the screen grabs that they were doing, some of the stills they were doing of her, just horrified. And there's that asshole standing there looking like a child on Christmas morning.
I mean, oh goodness.
When is it enough?
It's not.
Yeah, never.
It's like, so is old Mark just going to start just fucking renting out the Apex every time they have a fight card there? Because this is going to get old really fast.
That's shitty.
It goes back to a conversation we were having with our buddy yesterday. It's like when is it enough for your joy? As far as your joy and your happiness goes, when is it enough?
Well, we live in the period of ultra capitalism. So it's never enough. I mean, we got fucking basically Gordon Gekko running the world, and kind of this society of, fucking Bezos and Zuckerbergs and who's that shitbird from fucking Microsoft that his wife smartly left him?
Willie Gates.
Yeah, old Bill Gates, Melinda finally got some goddamn sense and like, why am I fucking this nerd? I got all this money.
I'm going to go now.
Like the chick that was married to Bezos is doing.
Bye.
I mean, goddamn, I'm pretty at ease with where I'm at and how I'm doing.
Well, capitalism doesn't want you to say that, though, because that means now you don't have that carrot and stick thing anymore, of always pursuing more beyond what you require.
Nah.
Because if you don't live up to it, though, that means you're a slacker,
I
refute
McFly.
that statement and all of those statements. I no longer play the hustle game.
Right. Well,
look at you.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Our society will get angry at you for it.
Oh, they will.
What?
And they can resent me if they want, but I've decided I'm not doing it anymore. It's not worth my life. And that's literally what it does to you. It literally takes life from you, and I'm done.
Sure. Yeah, no, our life expectancy in this country went down. It's gone down a few years in a row, and they were trying to put it off initially on the COVID deaths. And sure,
some of
that's
it is
fine.
that, sure.
But now?
There's other stuff, too.
Now it's like, well, hold on now. We don't get that many deaths from COVID, so why is our life expectancy shorter than it was at peak COVID?
Yeah.
Because working people to death is a literal application within our fucking function of our lifestyles.
100%.
You can go back and listen to podcasts from 3 years ago and further back where I'm slowly dying on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a thing you kind of laugh at, but that's a literal deal. Yeah. It is, life is slowly killing you.
Yes.
Yeah. And working at a hotel during a pandemic.
Oh God, I bet.
I think that is what it was. Yeah. I was there another 5 months after that. I worked into it for 5 months before I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Y'all can go fuck yourselves. I'm done. Right. Can't do it anymore. Goodbye working overnights. Goodbye hospitality, at least for a good long while.
Right.
I can't do this shit.
Well, at least then you moved into an industry that New Mexico is now firmly behind. Yeah. They just try to figure out the way to tax it right,
Oh yeah, no, yeah, and how to implement it properly.
So the town of Eagles Nest, up in the northern part of the state.
Yeah.
They one dispensary went in, Ultra Health. Well, they have an ordinance that says you can't have dispensaries set up. They have to have so much space between them. But they also passed an ordinance saying they could only open dispensaries on this one city block. So that means Ultra Health is open and no competition, and nobody can open anything. So now there's a lawsuit in place suing the city of Eagles Nest. So.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Well,
why?
And I'm not
Why?
blaming Ultra Health for this shit.
No.
I'm blaming their fucking city
Absolutely.
council for trying to figure out a way to try to fucking keep marijuana sales illegal in their town. So I'm assuming their town council must be a bunch of squares over the age of 60.
Yeah,
Yes.
trying to keep it illegal while also giving Ultra Health a very cushy spot. Like, well, you can still buy it from us, motherfuckers. So, yeah, that's even by trying to stall it, all it's doing is benefiting one fucking company greatly.
Yeah. Well, but their argument would be, well, shit, if you want it bad enough, you can drive into Springer or you can drive to fucking Trinidad.
Yeah, they're like, great. No, I'd rather go give the money I make here in Eagles Nest to other people in other cities.
Yeah.
Fuck them. If they don't want the money, they can go fuck themselves.
Right.
Make it just say, hey, we don't want it. We don't want it here.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is because when you got, like, cities like the one that we live in, you can't sling a cat without hitting a school or a church.
Correct.
There ain't no law against that.
Well, but you can't have a dispensary within so many feet of a school or a church.
I can see the junior high for mine.
Yeah. I think they had to get like a special.
We were grandfathered in. We were already there as a medical aspect of it. It's like, well, hey, we sell weed too, so suck it.
Yeah.
Suck a dick.
Straight up.
Suck a weed dick.
Well, anything else we got going on of interest today, or
let's see.
Are we getting tight on time? I don't even know where
Nah, we're fucking. Actually, we're probably gonna get out of this a little early.
Gotcha.
What do I have in this brain that I could get out?
Scared to know.
Ooh. Didn't mean to laugh that maniacally. I got nothing. Fuck it.
Yeah, the next one coming up we'll do on the 28th. That'll be a little more Halloween themed. In the meantime, yeah.
And we'll have a little more gas.
And we'll throw on Dale and Tucker versus Evil. Maybe we'll do that tonight. Sometime during this month, and I've been saying it for 2 fucking years, I'm going to get around to it. There was a horror movie that dropped right before the pandemic, I think in October 2019. It was called, I think, The Legend or Curse of La Llorona.
Okay, uh-huh.
And my problem is at this point now, it's been so built up that I'm not going to enjoy it. But yet I'm going to be really angry if I don't fucking at least watch it one time. You know? I mean, this weird quandary that exists within my brain. I get it.
Different strokes for different folks.
It's like, God damn it, I'm going to hate it, but I'm going to be really angry if I don't watch it. You know?
But I can't hate it if I haven't seen it.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's like Schrodinger's hate, right?
Yeah. It's probably going to be actually the same thing I have when fucking like the finale of Picard begins. Like, I don't want to see this, but I can't bitch about it unless I watch it.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of like,
We'll
voting.
cross that bridge when we get to it.
I guess. Shit. Well, we good with calling it early then?
Yeah. Krista, you got anything?
I got nothing, y'all.
Got plugs, man. LJ plugged his book.
Yeah, what you got? You got a book?
I don't know. I don't have a book.
Yoga DVD, something. Hey.
Yeah, well,
I'll be a nurse eventually, but that's years down the road. I'll plug that, I guess. I don't know.
And plugging aerial performances a little bit hard unless you're local around here.
We will be at Peanut Valley, so that's cool.
Yeah.
If you're local, come see
that's
us
true.
at Peanut Valley next Saturday.
Be a week from today and tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
Well, today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
Yeah, we're out there Saturday.
People just call it Peanut Valley now?
The Peanut Valley Festival.
Oh, okay. Because
Sorry.
I've heard a lot of people call it that, Peanut Valley.
Well, yeah, because
we'll be at
lazy,
the Peanut Valley.
And we don't say festival, so I just drop it. I assume you know that it's the festival.
Oh.
It's just like
Sorry, I'm just being lazy.
That's P-Town shorthand.
Yeah.
It's just like out on the out on the West Coast, you got your All Valley. It's the All Valley Karate Tournament, but everybody just calls it the All Valley.
Yeah.
Especially to the motherfucker wearing the jacket.
That's right.
This monkey right
Cobra
here.
Cobra Kai, bitch.
All right, let's. What are you drinking? Oh, never mind.
Be drinking the old agua.
Yeah, me too.
After fucking drinking tequila like a matador last
I actually
night.
had some tequila earlier also, so apparently Kevin and I are just except I didn't have quite the quantity.
See, don't you worry, friends. I will keep the tradition alive of drinking on the podcast until everybody returns and comes to their senses.
Yeah. I'll probably, matter of fact, I can tell you what I'm drinking tonight. I can tell you what I'm drinking next week, and I'm telling you what I'm drinking the week after that. Because I'm drinking water tonight, probably whiskey next week. The week after that, we're doing a poker night, and I'm breaking my little fast on beer for that weekend. So I'll be back to slamming some tall boys.
Oh, shit.
And then I'll go on the wagon for a few days, and then hey, diet's over, and I'm back on drinking tall boys by the 28th.
But now there is an important question there. The next day is the Abu Dhabi card.
Yeah.
Will you be drinking for that?
Yes. That weekend.
Oh, that's right. You booked the whole weekend.
Yeah.
God damn.
Poker night, and then the 12 noon fucking pay-per-view from Abu Dhabi.
What? That is a ridiculous time for a pay-per-view.
It really is.
It is.
I mean, I guess, where's that, India?
Saudi Arabia.
Oh, sorry. I was way off
over there,
base.
all the assholes
Way
that,
off base.
really the people that are really behind a lot of human rights,
Yay.
abuses.
The one cutting oil production to make more money.
Yeah.
These people.
It's like, man, we gotta feed our children. They turn.
We got to be able to afford to bring the WWE back.
Yeah.
That costs money.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they take it, not me.
All right. Well, so anyway, the pick, drinking water today.
Yeah.
So that's all fun.
I'll be jamming. I got to go back and listen to a few more tracks off that Lamb of God album.
I'm with you. I think we're going to probably close actually with their official video for the song of the same name as the album for Homans.
Krista, any tunes jumping out of Hughes?
I actually was listening to Downward Spiral while I worked out this morning, so that was interesting.
It was actually kind of interesting to watch Krista checking out Lamb of God. She's like, and she's over there kind of enjoying it. She's like, it's not often I listen to Lamb of God. Really rock this.
This is hitting all the spots.
It's a boppy, definitely. I was bouncing my head for sure.
It's got a groove.
Yeah. All right. Shit. And then there is a card tomorrow, right?
I don't
It
know.
is. Yeah. Because it's a 5 o'clock. I want to say the next week's a 5 o'clock, and then it's noon.
I don't know. I didn't see any weigh-ins on my fucking.
Well, which leads me to believe then I
YouTube
know that there were a couple of 5 o'clock, so there may not be actually a card.
October 15th, next one.
Wow. Okay, so we truly actually have fuck all going on this weekend.
Yeah.
Damn.
Fun times.
It feels kind of good to say that though.
Yeah,
Isn't it nice?
Because then it can become a flower.
Well,
We'll plant it in the ground.
And we have,
then when it grows, we'll nose.
well, yeah, right in the flower. Right in the nothing weird about that one.
Nope,
right.
not at all.
Right in the old horse hole.
Oh my God. What?
Wow. All right.
That deteriorated quickly.
Okay. Well, it's time for us to wrap this shit up then, I'm guessing.
Hey, thanks for coming by, guys.
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, no, our next 2 weekends are... That's why we're doing one tonight, and we're not doing another one until the 28th, because the next 2 weekends are fucking crazy.
Busy.
Yeah, it's just we're busy. We're so busy.
Busy.
I'm looking forward to getting in the month of November, because
That's
I'm
what I'm
not
saying.
making any goddamn plans for the best month of the year.
You know what? I'm fucking might have to get on that train as well, because that sounds awesome.
Yeah. That's it for us. 28th, maybe Krista's with us, maybe not. Buy LJ's book and
And an extra pair of drawers.
an extra pair of drawers before you
Drawers.
before you go to reading it, right?
That's right.
Especially you ladies.
You might poop a little or squirt if you're weird.
little,
You
for all
know.
you squirters out there.
It really deteriorated near the end this time, didn't it?
All right, later, everybody.
Bye.
That's it.